What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. I know I said I was going to go live at 10:15, but I just wanted to, the earlier I get done, the earlier we can kind of get this thing. I don't want to say over with, but obviously, gives me more time. Appreciate you all checking out the shorts. Appreciate you all checking out, subscribe to the TikTok channel. Appreciate you all, doing what you do. If you're new, much appreciated as well. And we are going to have some fun getting in. I got a variety of news articles I want to go through, a variety of videos and I kind of want to do. So we are going to have some fun. I may do a panel. And I actually got quite a few articles of folks saying some crazy stuff. Yeah, happy Halloween. It's probably gonna be interesting Thursday downtown, and we're gonna talk about the election, what to expect. I did a poll talking about who do you think is gonna win, not who do you want to win, who do you think is gonna win, because there are some folks out here that do think Kamala is gonna win. Some folks in this space, the folks that are they're not necessarily wilding out at all. I mean, this is what they see based on what they see. And it's actually a couple of people that have reached out to me and have said, they see a lot of white folks they think are crashing or breaking for Kamala. And it is what it is. My bad. I know Mr. Z is live. It is what it is, Um and like I said, I may have a panel. It just depends on, where this goes. And how quickly I can get through the stuff that I get through. Looking at the poll so far, 47 you all voted, and 85% you all think Donald Trump is going to win. And so, yeah, I'm going to really talk about. I've talked a lot about if Trump is going to win. At the end of the day, it really just depends on what people vote for. I mean, we know where people are, we know how people feel about Trump, and it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not like a fan of Trump, but I do think out of the two, Trump is the better candidate. And anybody that would tell me anything different, I don't know what you're looking at. But at the end of the day, um, whatever. But just know, if y'all vote for Trump, if y'all vote for Kamala, y'all ain't gonna be able to complain. I'm not saying you can't complain, but y'all gonna look hella stupid because ultimately, I'm always gonna go back to, well, that's what happens when you vote for somebody just because you don't like them, or he's saying they're trying to distract us. You see, he's saying, he said, last time I thought Trump was in, yet we got Biden now, could go either way. Well, at the end of the day, Trump was not going to be, I didn't think Trump was going to win because Trump was not going to beat the pain. You're not going to have a pandemic on your watch that shuts everything down and think you still going to win. I don't give a damn who you are. To me, I don't know why anybody thought, and then when you look at like Biden was winning certain demographics by a lot of points, then you also got to understand too, a lot of people kind of had that just visceral reaction and everything was messed up under Trump in general. So they were on some anybody but Trump, and then Biden gets here and does what he does. So this is like a slightly different situation, but we'll have to see. They're trying to distract us with Meg and Tory. I mean, people are going to pay attention to that because there's a lot of people that think Tory Lanez was done dirty. I actually agree with that. I may even do a video on that, but ultimately, I mean, I voted like Saturday. So ultimately, at this point, it's a wait and see thing. And I voted, technically, people can say I quote unquote voted split ticket, but I voted all over the place. I made it very clear. Yeah, I voted for Trump. I voted for the Democratic governor. I voted for pretty much a lot of the Democratic grads when it comes to state stuff, like the more administrative stuff. I did kind of how Tariq Nasheed says vote FBA, but I vote a little bit deeper than that because you never know. It's a couple of people I already knew that I was going to vote for, and then as far as the House of Representative, I voted third party on that. Um, the judges, I kind of was all over the place depending on who the judge was. I mean, a lot of that, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit, but a lot of that is folks trying to keep themselves out of jail and out of the courts. That's what's going on with that. He said unless they no 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 that then I mean I will say this, I will speak on that. I will speak on that a little bit because I have an article that speaks on that. But at the end of the day, people are going to be watching this election. Republicans, it's not, remember, it's not just about Trump. It's about, a party, Republican Party. So the Republican Party doesn't like Trump. That doesn't mean they think the Democrats need to get all of the courses. So, and you got everything is pretty much evenly split amongst, like who controls legislatures and stuff like that. So they're not going to be able to just do that. They're going to try to do that, but that won't work. He says too many powerful celebrities endorse her. If she loses, those celebrities will be obviously exposed. Not really. I mean, because the thing is, well, I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to front. Like real talk. I'm just gonna keep it real. If I was Trump, you're damn right. I would turn the Justice Department on a lot of these folks. You're damn right. I would do that just for that bullshit. You're damn right. I would do that just to set a precedent that if y'all but that's me. She said she got this documentary called In Her Words. I'm like, this is clearly damage girl. Yeah, Meg. I mean, Meg is a liar. Meg is not a good person. Meg is a drunkard. Meg don't get along with other women. Meg likes to fight, which goes into the drunkard thing, and she's a liar. She literally admitted that she lied to Gayle King about sleeping. Oh, I slept with him like once, and maybe twice or three times if I was drunk. Trying to make and the thing about it is Megan tried like understand. We all remember how Megan came up. Megan is a groupie. Megan ain't really that chick like that. She ain't like somebody that like a Maya or somebody that came up and is talented. Megan can just put some words together. And because she has a look that they're looking for, another minstrel show. But Megan is a groupie. She acts like a groupie. She acts, I mean, and to be fair, Cardi B low key does too, but Megan really acts. I would argue Megan probably has slept around with more people more than any of these other new chicks because she has the right combination of shamelessness and I mean, honestly, Megan, she looked a lot better when she was in when she before she got if you look at what she looks like before she got famous, she actually looks better in what she does now. You can tell that a lot of that weight she has, it's not it's right at the cliff of whether that's naturally how she's supposed to be or not. Um I mean, it we'll see. Ultimately, we'll see, and ultimately, it ain't contrary to what people say. It ain't up to black people. We vote for who we vote for, and it is what it is. People always like to make it like it's up to us so they can blame us. So anyway, I did that stream yesterday when I had that chick on here. I want y'all to actually hear what she said, to actually give and why y'all kind of come in here. And we're gonna go through a couple of things, but I want y'all to actually hear what she said. And like I said, I agree with her more than I disagree. But this doesn't so much have anything to do with so much what she's saying as it is the overall kind of structure of this. And there's a reason I'm playing this now. So for anybody that don't know, I was listening to this chick. A lot of times black women always are women in general. You see this in the media industry and everywhere. They always want to talk about how they don't get what they get because of sexism. They don't get their way because of sexism. It's always sexism. It's never people are not feeling what you're saying. They don't believe in you. It's always because I'm a woman. As if there haven't been other women that's run before, as if there hasn't been other CEOs. Look at what Kathleen Kennedy is doing. Where everything Star Wars is not selling because of sex. It's always sexism. And this is why people don't take you serious. Because at the end of the day, what y'all essentially saying is, I don't get my way because of sexism. And the reality is, we are in 2024. We are not in the 70s or 60s. That is kind of played out, y'all saying that. It really is. So, with that being said, I'm going to play this chick. This chick, you'll see her channel. Check her channel out. It actually has some interesting content that you're not really going to hear anywhere else. It's really more of a, what black people just got money deal with kind of stuff. is really interesting, unique. But with that said, I don't agree with that. So let's go.
In case you missed it, if you are a black woman trying to get anything in this country, for women in general, but especially black women, you are going to find that when you are successfully close to getting more power or getting something, that the way people will try to push back on that is by talking about your sexuality. There is a reason we are hearing Kamala.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna get into the other part. But here's my thing. Kamala Harris is a bad example of that because her sexual history is out there. It is known that she was Willie Brown's girlfriend. This is not rumor. This is not Hollywood rumor. This is a fact. This is out of her. This is pretty much out of her mouth that she was the girlfriend of Willie Brown, and she got political favor because of that. Willie Brown is still around. Willie Brown is still around, and Willie Brown was married. That is a fact. It is a fact that she wasn't married until 10 years ago, and at 49 years old, which is a very late time to get married. And so the truth is, her sexual, I said this before, I'm gonna say it again, her sexual stuff can actually be further put out there than what they already are. I actually think it's been relatively muted, to be honest with you. And when we talk about close to getting power, she's been vice president. I mean, she got this isn't a break glass ceiling type of person. This is a person who has been given a lot of the jobs she has. She's been given favor over more qualified people. And so I say that to say this: she is not a good example to run that play with. If you were talking about maybe a Condoleezza Rice, okay, she is not a chick. That, when like a light skin, aka that's been conventionally attractive, that that is known to be the jump off of politicians. This is a fact. This is not a rumor. So I mean, she's just not a good example to run that play. She's not, because truth be told, people didn't do that with Hillary. That wasn't sexuality wasn't Hillary's problem. It wasn't. She had other issues. So anyway.
Kamala Harris's opponents talking about her as if she is a sex worker, a hoe, or a slut, as if, and I use those in quotations, as if the people who are around her do not work for her, but they abuse and make her work for them. This is a way to.
I mean, like I just said it. Honestly, to me, that's sensitive. That's you being sensitive. That's you being sensitive. That's what I'm gonna say. Um, this has been relatively muted. Black people have been really bringing that up more than anything. Yes, Trump has brought it up, I think, once, but for the most part, that doesn't play well with women, i.e., because women are sensitive to it. But the reality, sensitive to it, and Trump is kind of one to talk with a lot of stuff out there. They have made a bigger deal out of Trump getting the lawsuit charges that he got with that porn star chick than in reverse. And then you have to take into account how much the media have been in the tank for Kamala Harris. So we're talking about a lot of noise that has been in her favor. So it's not like, so the Republicans are not, machine is not operating. This is not Bush's machine. This is not, the Karl Rove machine. It's not operating. Even the way Trump ran the first time is not how he's running now. And so, and remember, this is a recent video. She just put this video up like the day before I did the initial stream. So it's crazy how we're kind of putting this out there. Honestly, it's been a much bigger thing questioning, is she really black, than it is, what she did in the past. And when people do dig in there, what they typically find is they go after her policies, because people kind of know women are going to be extra sensitive to that.
To undercut her intelligence and her agency and any sense of the fact that she is the captain of her own life and is responsible for her own decisions.
She's absolutely right, but let's be very clear here. Kamala has demonstrated that she's been given a lot. Like, to say she's a DEI candidate is not a stretch. She's barely had to run for anything. It is almost unprecedented how she's gotten this position. Like straight up. As a woman, quote unquote, of color. And so again, this just falls hollow when you're talking about her. It really does.
This is why I could be walking down Fifth Avenue with my French bulldog and I will be asked which man got me that expensive bulldog. This fits into the wider gender.
No, I understand that, but again, that's that sensitivity that I was talking about. That you're sensitive to it, so you see it everywhere. The reality is, how you got your, like, questioning if you got money because they just refuse to believe that only a lily white person would have it is not the same as Kamala Harris being able to skip elections. And by the way, another thing I'm going to go back to, and I said it in the last stream, but I'm going to repeat it. Hillary Clinton, when she had to compete for, because remember, Hillary Clinton was able to go to New York, and off the strength of who she was, she's not from New York. Off the strength of who she was able to establish residency, plug into the machine, and basically run for New York off the strength of who she was and the name that she had. You can kind of argue the same with Rahm Emanuel as well. To straight up, off the strength, she was able to do that and bypass a lot of other Democrats in as politically active as New York City and the New York City area is. Bypass a whole bunch of people in order to be senator. Straight up, but sexism. When Hillary Clinton had to run for the White House, she lost a fair fight by somebody that she arguably had a lot more strength than, and he had to punch up. They made sure that wouldn't be the case again when they front loaded Bernie. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. The Democratic Party had every right to do that from party rules. And people had every right to respond to that by not really messing with her in the election. Even though she did get 2 million more votes, she just lost a strategic electoral college. But the argument was, we will never know if she would have been able to beat Bernie, because the truth is, Bernie was shut out of the process. But we do know when she lost that election against somebody that wasn't even politically seasoned like that, when she had everything behind her. We do know that. And nobody was pushing back against her, in the party or anything like that when it comes to her being a woman. Nobody was doing that. So I say all that to say Kamala has never had to fight, even in the Democratic thing. But people see, what people forget is the real primary. The way California has a weird way of the way they do their primaries, because not their primaries, but their generals, because they do the top people to get votes. So it makes it very hard for Republicans to win, because there is no, okay, there's going to be a Republican and a Democrat. It's kind of like who gets the top votes and stuff. And that Hispanic chick, the congresswoman, she was trying to run. Kamala basically was able to win in a Democratic Party where machine politics has more favor in a primary style election. So she has never really had to run for nothing. Not really. She's always had help. This is a documented, proven fact. Even though Obama was able, he got lucky with the Senate race. He ran against that congressperson and lost. But you can say what you want to about Obama. Obama had to do literally like once. No other president probably has had to run as flawless of a campaign as Obama did. And even then, a lot of that had a lot to do with timing as well. And Obama had to fight for the nomination. So Obama has had his times where he had to fight, and Obama has fought and lost when it comes to congressional seats. So yeah, Obama, you can make the same argument to a certain extent, but Obama has had times where he had to prove who he was in his mettle, at least as a politician. Kamala has been able to skate that this is like the first real race she's ever run. And even now, she has been put on kid gloves. People have been very nice to her. She has not really been vetted. She has not really been pressured. People just don't want to go with a woman like that. And we may all pay the price for that, because nobody's going to care The other countries are not going to care about her being a woman because other countries have had women leaders. America is one of the last countries to not have a woman leader. So they're not going to have that same crap where, oh, because she's a woman, she's going to get no, she's not. And y'all are not going to just be able to cry sexism. Ain't nobody going to care. We just going to have to deal with the fallout. Pretty much a pay to win campaign.
General idea that is part of any patriarchal society that female intelligence, female brilliance, or
we're not in a patriarchy. Now, I will give her an out because when she's in she's in basically that 1% level. That's where she's at, that 5%, 1%. So can I believe that she's feeling the patriarchy at that level? Yes. Because I've said that before and I say it again. At that level, these chicks ain't really got a lot of wiggle room to move in because you're dealing with nobility and stuff like that. Where at that level, you're either inheriting the money or the men are making the money. Either way, the men are making the money. So I'll give her that out where she's at, but in the greater society, no. That's just some BS.
Female success is accidental. It's not intentional. At the root of the patriarchal society.
I mean, her success is intentional, but her success is based on she stands on the shoulders of men. Kamala stands on the shoulders of men. Even the fact that she's even running now. Do you honestly believe that Kamala would have got the nomination if she didn't get it this way? Do you honestly believe Kamala would have got the nomination if it would have been an open convention? That's why they didn't want to do an open convention. So again, I say this before, I'm going to say it again. Kamala is like the last chick that you would try to make this argument with.
That you live in is this idea that you exist to fulfill the main character's story. And the way that works politically is we have caste systems. All societies have caste systems. Some of those are more articulated, some of those are more hidden. Whether you name them, out loud and everybody has the same slurs or has not even slurs, they have like the actual definitions, or whether people just refer to the law and they understand what kinds of people.
And let's be clear here, this is somebody that's pretty much at the top of the caste system for like 99% of people. I just want to be clear. You are a born to wealth, mixed woman, light skin, with barely ethno features. So cry me a river. I get it, but cry me a river.
Can do what? That's what we're talking about. You cannot get away from the fact.
And you're not going to tell, and she's relatively attractive. So we're not just dealing with a Tisha Campbell. Oh, I'm light skinned, I'm rich, but I'm just not there yet on the attraction piece. No, we're not dealing with that. So cry me a river.
That for hundreds of years in this country and up till today, the law class women as not full humans. In my other video, I go into
bullshit. Women have more rights. Women have more rights than men in today's country. Women in today's and that's been the minute for a while. Women have more rights than men. That's a fact. That's an undeniable fact. You don't believe me? Rights to the children is a perfect example. Tell me what rights that we have. Oh, we get paid more. We get paid more because we're more valuable. That's just a fact. We can work harder. We can work longer. That's just a fact. Y'all doing so much. Y'all go and create y'all own female economies. Most of the products that y'all buy are made in, or most of the products that y'all buy are literally thought up by men. Even the brands. Or not all of them, but most.
A much longer background in history as to how Black women in this society, what level they fell under, and how.
I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but you're mixed. I'm light skinned myself. I'm not trying to be a police, but you're not dealing with what other Black women deal with. You're not. Even at your level, what a Black woman that is a brown skinned Black woman is going to deal with is not the same as what you're going to deal with. That's just a fact.
Their bodies and their sexual reproductive systems were used, abused, and exploited by the ruling class of America, and then generally anybody who was in a category above them. That is the larger memory and context in which we've existed. We just became legally close to full humans. So you can imagine that when a power structure and a society that for a very long time defined
Yeah, but the thing about it is, see, and this is where the trick with Obama comes into case. Obama is not African American in that way. So the thing is, Kamala in a lot of ways is not. Kamala ain't either. So, I mean, again, you're applying a lot of things that don't apply to her. Kamala did not push her way into this position. Kamala was literally put here. Kamala was selected. And main reason Kamala was selected to be VP is because she checked a lot of DEI by. I'm sorry, y'all can get mad about that. Kamala was there because she was a conventionally attractive, woman that can appeal to minorities and a woman. That's why she was selected. She is not Susan Rice, and she was a senator, and she had a certain amount of brand recognition because she was in the primaries. She is not Susan Rice. She is not all these other women. That is why she was picked. She was not picked because she was never expected to have to do what she's doing now. Otherwise, Biden would have just had to step aside and they would have ran her for longer. Anyway.
its own sense of superiority through your inferiority, these people and these traditions, they're not going to give up so quickly. And they're also not going to even be fully aware of the bias that filters how they see you. It is important to not.
I mean, I'm going to be interested in if she wins this, because the thing is, Kamala did not win this election off her merit. She won the election because people like, literally, Trump was not supposed to run. He was supposed, like, literally all the things that Donald Trump has had to jump past to get to this point. And Kamala was just put there because Biden couldn't do it. Where Biden said he was only going to do 4 years anyway. It's really crazy. And I understand the historical context, but none of that has bearing on her situation. It doesn't. It doesn't.
See this as simply political language that's really fired up, or everyone's just, all hot and excited because the election's close. This is violent language. This is imagery that is supposed to reduce your agency. It's supposed to speak to your inferiority. And it is supposed to ignite a memory and a context that has long.
So what I would like, and I get it, when you're doing a video, you can't, pause it, put it up. It's the nature of TikTok. I understand that. My thing is, though, I want to see this language on, because anybody can talk about what's on social media, because crazy stuff happens on social media. But when you look at CNN, when you look at Fox, when you look at the mainstream masses of media, you are not seeing this. Like, you're not. This is violent language. You haven't even verbalized an example. What you have essentially done is give a whole bunch of basically platitudes, I won't say word salad, but platitudes. And basically you're speaking as if you're in a woman studies class. It's all women. You all feel the same way. You all deal with it. You all exempted from other problems other women have to deal with it completely. These like with all due respect, you are straight up speaking first world problems right now. Like, you are straight up speaking first world problems right now. Like, and the reality is Kamala has been given an absolute pass, a pass that even Hillary Clinton was not given. She is literally giving we know you're not supposed to be here, but we just don't want to look like the people that are crashing a woman out. So she is being given the DEI. I'm sorry. And I hate to say that, but the reality is that she is exactly what people think when other people earn their merit to be in a position. Kamala is exactly what they think they're doing. You really can't do the job. You really aren't here. But because we don't want to feel like we're racist, we're just not going to really vet you like you otherwise should be vetted. To say that Donald Trump has not had to go through the ringer, and Kamala has had to fight this sexist wave, is completely asinine
Existed
and untrue
in this country. It has to be called out for what it is. And most importantly, because you and I have no control aside from voting as to what the outcome is going to be, and regardless of who comes into power, we are still going to have to contend with this reality. What you do need to be aware of is the people who have decided that this language is either something they can overlook or something they're okay with. When
Again, she doesn't, she doesn't, she has not verbalized a single example of the language. She hasn't verbalized one example. She is not of course it's being said, but you know, the death panels, the birtherism, these things were talked about on the mainstream media. Like, her sexual history has not been discussed. I don't even think Fox has really discussed it that. So it's like, in the mainstream media or websites, where is this conversation being had? Where? Where it has kinetic impact. What are the bigger podcasts where it's being had, has influence? What we talk about, like Candace Owens questioning, who's black, questioning, you know, if she's really, if she's really African American. Like, we're like, again, and I'm not, again, I say all that because it's kind of like this. The thing about it is, women. I'm sorry, you all are not the only ones with problems, and the world does not owe you this perfect Candyland world. It just doesn't. And my thing is, I don't like to be dismissive of somebody's experience, no matter what level they're at, because seriously. But at the end of the day, if we're really talking about, you are like literally 1% in the top 1%, born in that, by the way, born into that, by the way. And this, and we're doing this feminist studies, you know, it's like, y'all get what I'm saying, y'all.
choosing a leader. Maybe that will help you understand how this language is the mushroom of a much larger root system of disgust, hatred, and denigration.
Most people are not even using that language against Kamala, because Kamala is not a serious candidate. Like, you're saying a leader, this is some congeniality contest. Like, there will be real consequences to Kamala if she wins this election. And I can promise you, she'll be probably the last black woman in 100 years to be put anywhere near the White House, too, by the way.
It might explain why the black maternal health crisis is the way it is. It can explain why
I give her points for creating a black maternal health crisis, but that's very simple. That's the Democrats don't care, and black women aren't pushing it, because black women don't even mention the maternal health crisis because they accept abortion at face value. You allow, you allow Michelle Obama, not you, but women allow Michelle Obama to shove abortion down their throats, and merge that with maternal health, rather than, and let's be clear here, with all due respect, ma'am, you're not going to suffer in that black maternal health crisis. But to the extent that I give her mad credit for bringing that up, because very few people do, most black women don't even recognize that as an issue. They think abortion is more of an issue than the black maternal health stuff, because that's what the Democrats tell them. Because and that's on the women. That's on the women. The women believe trans rights and LGBT rights are a bigger issue.
sexually explicit materials follow the scripts that they follow in dehumanizing certain kinds of women in certain kinds of ways. And it's absolutely tied into the way we adultify young black girls and then over sexualize them. So, no surprise, a society that.
Yeah, I understand that, but I understand that, but I understand that part too. But black women, unfortunately, here, let's not even say, okay, we're not even going to quote unquote victim blame. We talk about black girls being over sexualized, but then the same black females will support media that over sexualizes black girls. When you support media that, like a Red, S Red, or Megan Thee Stallion, and it is supported that these girls, it is supported that this music is played in schools, and it's normalized, when city girl music becomes normalized to the point where young children are playing it, and we're not even shaming the parents for keeping their kids away from this music because they just think it's cool and it's not a big deal, you are partaking in your own sexualization. Let me give you another example. When black men, you know, accept the idea of the BBC, you are partaking in your own sexualization and in sexual, as it being sexual, a sexual threat, because you want to take on the benefits that comes with that, with attention and stuff like that. It's the same thing, but in a bigger scale.
Denigrates black women or has denigrated black women will continue to denigrate black women and vote like it. You yourself, if you live in America, have like 6 days to decide what you think about that. And that is the Cliff Notes version of that other video. I'm happy to say we are resuming lives. Substack is coming back. Podcast.
Okay, so that's what she has to say. Like I said, I understand where she's coming from, but that reeks of, I'm in a feminist studies class. I mean, at the end of the day, number one, we say how black women are viewed when you would actually, there is dark skinned women, brown skinned women, more on the lighter side, and then mixed women. You're in the mixed women category. In the mixed women category, the type of people you're interacting with is doing that. That's that high level congeniality. You're not one of us old money stuff. That's different than what like 99.5% of black people are dealing with. I think she has a unique experience. It's actually interesting to hear because she's usually not talking that, and she's good at extrapolating that into the greater society. I'll give her that. However, the reality is that we just got other problems to deal with. And a lot of this myth of white womanhood, we all need to be treated like white women, that's not going to happen. And the only way for you all, like, the problem is women want to separate themselves as a separate group, like a separate status, like black women, and think they're all going to be treated the same. That's the trick bag that white women have y'all in, because that's not just white women or white men doing that or men doing that. That's women doing that too. Trump got a very good portion of the white woman vote. That wasn't because men like threatened them or took away their agency. That was a choice. Anyway, so that's that. I'm doing these kind of one at a time so I can kind of cut into them. Um, so that's the first one. The next one I want to do is an article with Ari Lennox. I mean, even with that, I mean, I don't, and this is a reason why I don't like to just throw stuff out there, because when you start just calling names and doing that, then you get the pushback of, you're just denigrating me, you're taking away my agency. You're doing, this is when you get kind of that language. So this is where you have to kind of really say, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, this is why I'm saying she's a DEI hire. All this majesty of what she did, her accomplishments, if you actually look at a lot of what she's done, a lot of that, she got a lot of political help. She got political favor. And she got political favor not because of her being effective as actually somebody in any of those jobs. It's she got a lot of nepotism type shit. Nepotism typically associated with who you know, but she got a lot of that benefit. And that's exactly what people are talking about. Shout out to Phantom Clutch. And people can you can try to write that off by her saying she's a black woman and what she, that's not her story. That's not her story. It's not. It's not her story. She is definitely a status quo person. She is not the type, and you know this because of what her record on truancy is. Anyway, so we're talking Ari Lennox right now. Ari Lennox, and there's a reason I want to talk about this, because all these kind of articles I decided to compile has kind of a centralized theme. And so Ari Lennox is, going through some things. And remember, this is the same chick that wanted to have a Kevin Samuels verse in her song, really dissing Kevin Samuels, subscribers or people that, listen to Kevin Samuels, inspired by Kevin Samuels' message, agree with his message, think his message is needed. This is a chick that wanted to cry racism when she went to Europe. Again, myth of white womanhood stuff. And she has not won a Grammy. I checked. And she's 33 years old, and this we talk about Ari Lennox. So Ari Lennox faces label challenges, but her catalog remains unstoppable. Obviously, this is like feminist language. It sounds good, but in reality, come on. In recent days, Ari Lennox has unveiled the cracks of her relationship with record labels Interscope, and J. Cole's Dreamville. The singer took to Instagram after her the Terrell Show interview went live to share her disappointment that their sit down interview had even aired, despite Lennox telling her team to scrap it. Additionally, Lennox had been dealing with what she deemed an unsupportive team, especially surrounding her latest single, Smoke. She accused both labels of refusing to promote the record and offer any further future marketing, encouraging her to ask for an immediate release to her contract. This is the music video. Let's do this. Lennox's plea, accompanied by an 18-minute video voicing her frustration, prompted a wave of support from fans who have been around her since 2011 Five Finger Discount independent debut. This project introduced many people to her soulful vocals. 4 years before she signed her deal with Dream Deal in 2015, her debut studio album, Shea Butter Baby, didn't arrive until May of 2019. The critical acclaim project only further solidified Lennox in R&B music. So what I'm hearing is, people. I'm not saying her music is trash, but ultimately she's got supporters. But I mean, her audience, she she she's got supporters. Sure. But this is a tale of really transferring this into an active fan base that people can leverage money out of. Keep in mind, Ari Lennox has 2 million Instagram followers. To give you perspective, Sweetie has like 10 million. That's very low for somebody that is on a major record label. That is very low, even especially as a black woman. You got like thoughts to easily dwarf that, even on their black female following. So clearly she's not that big to be driving as much money as she is. She signed with a label thinking they would take her to the next level. And obviously I'm not gonna say the label is blameless, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it real. To me, this is a combination of her music is alright, but it ain't all that. And this is also a combination of black women not supporting black women like they should. And they don't have to. To take 4 years to put out an album reeks of we don't want the album sales to not be good. Even if the music's good, the album doesn't sell. The album is considered to not be good. I mean, Reasonable Doubt with Jay Z was probably arguably one of his best albums, but that just now that got to it took a long time for that to get to a million records. While there's a high chance that Lennox could soon be an unsigned musician again, that likely won't impact her supporters who have stood by her impressive catalog, which features these smooth favorites. I mean, at the end of the day, we can talk about her quote unquote impressive catalog, but if she ain't won a Grammy, you kiss my. I mean, I'm sorry. If she ain't won a Grammy, and in her music, I mean, let me see. Let me Google this just to be clear before um. I mean, So she did go platinum on a song that featured J. Cole. I hate using the stream stuff, but but okay, so I'll give her that. But at the end of the day, the question is, and that's a platinum song versus a platinum album. So basically 100 streams equals one digital download. So you need like 100 million streams for it to be considered a platinum. Yeah. So ultimately, it's one of those things where we do a very big job of like gassing black women up, but ultimately, when it comes to like the numbers or what it is to be big, I mean, she's not getting there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, my life ain't gonna change one way or the other, whether Trump wins or Kamala wins, and y'all need to be prepared for that. Because I'm not gonna be disappointed and upset if Kamala wins. That's what the people chose. That's what they chose. They get what they get. It's really that simple. I voted for who I voted for, and that's what you do. Other than that, at the end of the day, you need to vote for yourself. But that's what's going on with Ari Lennox. Um, so let's move on. So there's some new news when it comes to Diddy. Diddy accuser must reveal name of the R case, or the R case will be thrown out. Judge rules. This is for, I guess, the most recent case. This was put up 10 hours ago, which I definitely agree. I'm sorry, all this kind of, unless you're a minor, all this kind of hiding behind a veil of secrecy. No, you have a right to face your accuser. I mean, especially if Diddy ain't gonna be bailed out, either. He has a right to face his accuser. A woman who anonymously sued Sean Diddy Combs this month for R charges must reveal her name, or her lawsuit will be tossed out, a judge has ruled. The woman's complaint, filed under Jane Doe in Southern District of New York, accuses Combs of R-ing her in 2004 at a Manhattan hotel when she was 19 years old, college student. However, U.S. District Judge Mary Kay, I'm not going to say her last name, in a ruling Wednesday said that while the case is highly sensitive and Jane Doe is likely to face public scrutiny if she proceeds under her own name, her desire to remain anonymous does not outweigh the interests of Combs and the public in the customary and constitutionally embedded presumption of openness in judicial proceedings. The judge said the woman's complaint provided insufficient evidence that she would face significant risk of harm if publicly named. The judge said her lawyers offer no support for this assertion beyond the fact that 20 years ago, Combs threatened Doe's life if she fled at the time of the alleged R. Complaint also said that Combs has had no contact with Doe in years since, and noted that Combs is currently detained. Exactly what I said. The judge also said that her lawyers failed to provide evidence that reveals Doe's identity would cause mental harm, noting that public humiliation was not enough. She said they failed to submit evidence from mental health professional and sworn affidavit from Doe. I mean, come on, man. Number one is Diddy. Is Diddy number one? And number two is 2024. You really telling me that you're going to be publicly humiliated that you were sexually assaulted by Sean Combs allegedly? Like who is, like, seriously, like your job, like who is gonna do that? Like seriously though, this is 2024. It ain't like Sean Combs is like known to be this kind of just model citizen that, oh, how dare you disparage the name of this good man? What are you talking about? No, what that is this chick is scared, because I'm not gonna say whether her case is strong or not, but this chick is scared, and them lawyers are trying to get paid. That's what that is. And I wonder if she went to the lawyers or if the lawyers went to her, because this sounds like some pro bono to get a check. Judge said she also considered the fairness to Combs' camp in defending himself, which would be difficult without her identity being made public, given that the alleged attack happened 20 years ago. So you've been sitting on this for 20 years? I'm sorry. I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. We need, like, I'm cool with going back. If you're gonna go back in the past, it needs to get to a point where, okay, after this, y'all are not gonna be able to reach 20, 30 years. This is a different time than what it was back then. Y'all are not gonna be in 2044 talk about what happened in 2024. If it ain't a big deal for y'all to do it within a 10-year span, it ain't a big deal. It didn't happen. And it really needs to be codified that way. Defendants have the right to defend themselves, including by investigating plaintiff, and the people have a right to know who is using their courts. In denying the motion, the judge gave Jane Doe has until November 13th to file a complaint in her own name, or this case will be dismissed. NBC News has reached out to the woman's lawyer, Tony Busby, for comment on the ruling. Busby filed a lawsuit under the Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, and under which victims have a 2-year window ending in March 2025 to file older claims. This suit was one of 6 complaints Busby filed in the Southern District anonymously on October 14th. They'll never do a male equivalent to this. They'll never do a, men that are victims of paternity fraud. They'll just never do that. Because women get to say, well, you're harming the mother, which is harming the children. The complaint was filed against Sean Combs, several of his businesses, including his label Bad Boy Records and Marriott International. The complaint alleged that Jane Doe, who now resides in Tennessee, had been invited to one of Combs' photo shoots in Brooklyn, New York, 2004. She went to the photo shoot where she and another freshman from her dormitory were invited to an after party. At the party, Combs told Doe and her friend they should come up to his hotel first for a more exclusive party. It sounds like him. Doe and her friend agreed and were taken to Manhattan area Marriott Hotel by a member of Combs' entourage, the complaint said. I mean, we don't need to get into all of the nitty gritty of what it was done. I will say that I absolutely agree that he does have a right to face who he's talking about. I absolutely agree with that. Well, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that should be the new normal. I'm saying is, I mean, you have the time. They have like times that are that long. They're reaching the 20 now. I mean, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be crazy no matter what. To be honest with you. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna do a. We're gonna do a panel. Well, I know I'm pausing that, but we're gonna do a panel probably like either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see. Um, yeah, but I wanted to get these things out, and I'm probably gonna cut these up and do former videos. But yeah, I wanted to give y'all an idea of where she was coming from. But that's kind of why I was popping off about that. Oh my God. Okay, okay, okay. I know what the issue is. The issue is I'm on my Edward 300K and I'm not on my main channel. I didn't even realize that. I was wondering why what's called said. I guess I subscribed then. All right, that's my fault. But I need to go live on here anyway. I know niggas gonna be mad. I need to go live on here anyway. Yeah, 10 years can kind of go by. Um, yeah. So anyway, I was wondering, like, why is my shit so low? Actually, this is pretty good considering I haven't activated this channel in a minute. This is gonna be a channel I start throwing a lot of shorts on too. Yeah, because I'm not going. This channel is not gonna be a channel I usually go live on. I was like, yo, what is YouTube messing with me? Here, I'll do this. Since this is, we're not gonna go live for long, but I'll drop the link. If y'all got some stuff y'all want to say, I'll give y'all the opportunity. I mean, that's what they want to believe. They all want to be white women. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why when you hear women saying we're all tens, they want all this. They want this kind of status, and it's like that's just not how the world works. And it's funny because people are low key bringing it up. They're saying this is how communism starts, and dudes are just gonna walk away. Dudes are just gonna walk away until enough of them are being fucked up that women just start crashing. Women start checking that shit. I'm gonna give y'all some time, a little bit. He said, I'm nervous. I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is let the cards fall where they may. That's all you can do. I was wondering what Mike was like. Guess I should up here. Yeah. Yeah, this is my secondary channel. Actually, I do need to get this channel above 1,000 and get this monetized just in case. So if you're not subbed here, make sure you sub here. I can't even believe that shit. All right, y'all act like y'all good. All right, y'all. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.